All right, everybody, welcome. Okay, do you ever find yourself? The answer is a resounding yes. I know. It's a rhetorical question in many ways. Do you find yourself with not enough time to do what you think you have to do and everything that you need to do? So, hi, Lori Hart. Hi, Nick. Hi, beautiful Lori. Back to you. Um, So this is a perennial problem, is finding time to do what needs to be done. It's an age-old problem, but now it's frenetic. I mean, it's absolutely frenetic out there. And someone sends us an email and they expect that we return it right away, or they send us a chat and a text, and we feel like we have to return it immediately. And so, in some cases, mostly not, but in some cases, we do have to return that text and email very quickly, but usually we don't. We're just used to it. And so, what has happened is that we have given so much of our freedom, our mind share away to checking things almost to the point, and I would actually say to the addictive point of we haven't checked our emails for a while. We haven't checked our texts for a while. We haven't checked social media for a while. And all of these are great. Hi, Laura Rosario. Nice to see you. Um, all these things are really important, but we are the leaders. We've got to self lead our time, because here's the deal: no one, and I mean no one, is going to protect your time unless you do. And that requires healthy boundaries. It requires healthy time boundaries. Now, what does that mean? So, for example, I don't see clients very, very rarely. Well, I see clients in the mornings. My mornings are focused on getting things done, marketing, connecting with people, exercising. Now I've added that because I find that if I don't do that early in the morning, it's not going to happen. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Mindy. And so all of these things are really important, but I'm not going to see a client. Now, that's really important to see a client. But here's the deal: you want to work with your biorhythm. And most of us have a higher level of energy in the morning. And how many of you have a higher level? Hi, Laura Wolf. So, how many of you have higher energy in the morning? Just kind of wave or say me. And the reason for that is because that's a natural biorhythm. And that's what you want to work with. You don't want to work against your biorhythm. So, for someone who gets up and has that energy in the afternoon, or even at 11 a.m. or 2 p.m., go ahead and check your emails. Go ahead and start texting, because those are things that are going to take you off track, and you're not on track yet. You're not focused. So, I want you to get to the place where you can use your biorhythm so that you can stay focused. And I'm going to share with you 3 different ways that you can start becoming more productive today. And here's the best part: we know that when you're more productive, you have the opportunity to bring in more money. And when we say time, time is the cousin of money, and vice versa. And I often hear people that say, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money. It's the same coin, but 2 different sides of the same coin. So what are we going to do? Because the more focus time, not necessarily the more time that you put in, because that's a misnomer. The more time I'm at work, the more income. No, because at some point you get exhausted, and your brain can only handle so much, and then it turns off. We think, yeah, but you know what, if I just work really longer hours. No, it doesn't work like that, because once you hit your tired zone, it becomes counterproductive. It takes you longer to do something, and you're not right up, you're not focused, you're not quite as quick, you're not quite as creative. So what if you started to look at your biorhythm? Early morning is my best time. I'm really good early in the morning until about 2 o'clock. I start seeing my clients around 1 p.m. And what if you realize that it's not a matter of spending more time doing what you need to do in your work. It's really a matter of energy. It's a matter of focus, and it's a matter of self-regulation. It's a matter of protecting your boundaries. Really, really important. All right. So with that, let me share with you that I'm going to, with these three different points, it's in my book also in Generation Why Not. And it's also in my book A Little Differently in Time Management Secrets for Working Women. So the first time productivity I want to be able to share with you, and it's tied to a much higher level of productivity and an increase in income. Hi, Melanie. Nice to see you. Um, so what we have is take inspired action. Now you think, huh? I take action, but just taking action to take action, I want you to start taking inspired action. Now we all have this gut feeling, or we always come down with these ideas. I know this happens a lot when we walk or when we take a shower or when we're away from the desk. We have these great ideas, or we go, oh my gosh, I need to contact so and so. Inspired action. Give them a call right then and there. Now you say, but Ruth, you want me to stay focused, and now you're telling me if I get an idea to follow up. Okay, there's a system here. So let me share the system, because that's fair. So the first thing you want to do is captivate the idea. So let me share with you. If I'm doing focused work in the morning, and I come down with an idea, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically take that idea, and I'm going to store it. I'm going to allow it to come in, and then I'm going to write it down. Now, I don't know about you, but I work from notebooks, and I have my day listed, and I know that we've got to be flexible in our day, but boy, it really keeps me focused, and that's a great way to do it, as long as you don't get upset if you don't get everything on that list taken care of. And so I write it down, and then I follow up. Now, what does that look like? Okay, so in the world of writing your book, or in the world of marketing your book, or in the world of coming up with something for an existing client, you think, oh, this would be great for the client. I really want to share this with them. What you want to do is you want to be able to store it in the mind for a minute, just a minute, and then write it down and then follow up. So when I write, I have my chapters, I have them in tangible manila folders. I don't like to depend on the computer. Too many times there's been a crash and I forgot to back it up properly, or whatever that might be. So I like nice tangible folders, and I have my chapter titles on each folder. So let's say I'm gone for a walk, and I think of an idea and I go, oh wow, that'd be great. So then I don't bring my phone usually on my walk, because I've got to get away, and I'm not away for half a day, and I'm not a brain surgeon that I have to immediately I have to be there to answer phones because someone's life is dependent on it. And so I'll basically think about that, and then when I get home to my office, I take whatever chapter that idea fits into, And yes, I also write everything down in notebooks and journals. Yes, Laura. And that I'm telling you, I'm sure you're more productive than most people because of it. Otherwise, if you don't capture that idea when it comes down, chances are you're going to forget about it. And so I'll put it into that folder and then I let it go. But I follow up. I have a system. Let's say that I'm helping someone market their book and I came up with an idea for them. I go, wow, this is so good for them. And I immediately go to my tangible folder and I activate that inspired action by writing it down. And if it's appropriate and I'm not in my morning focused hours, I will send them an email and let them know, let's talk. I've really come up with something that I think you're really going to like about marketing your book, and it's different and it's for your brand. Okay. And so that's what it looks like in the book world, in the book marketing world. And it looks the same way when you're, no matter what you're doing, you come up with a marketing idea, you come up with a new program, you come up with a new idea. And so I have, again, a tangible folder, although I do also put it in Word document, but then I print it out so I have it as a safeguard. And I literally have a list of ideas. I have a Word document of ideas. But here's the deal. Most people do that and they don't follow up. You've got to have a system where you follow up. So maybe you spend the last 20 minutes twice a week following up, taking those ideas, putting them where they go, and doing something with them. It's the same thing with making calls. How many times have you thought, this happens to me all the time, wow, I really need to connect with this person because they've been wanting to connect with me. I've been wanting to connect with them. Or I'm thinking, wow, I have a great idea for this person. I just met them at a networking function. That's how our brains work, right? And I want to share that with them and see what they think. So I write it down on my little notebook. And then at the end of the day, usually 2 to 3 times a week, I go through that and I take inspired action. That's inspired action. The other thing in terms of the book world, let me share something with you. When I work with my clients, I'm going to suggest for all of you as well to write your chapters. Make a list of your chapters and write one paragraph that summarizes that chapter. Now, does it have to be perfect? No. Are you going to change it? Probably. But overall, is that going to be in there? Yes. And then you want to do 4 to 6 bullets, stories that go into that chapter, something important you want to put in that chapter. And so why is that important? An inspired action. So when I sit down to write my book, and I'm writing a parenting book now, which is going to go beautifully with my social mission, which is Universal Mom, helping children and teens uncover their brilliance and talents through the art of writing, which will greatly increase their self-esteem. And so what I do is when I sit down to write, I look at the chapters that I haven't written yet. So I look at that, all those chapters, and I go, oh, I'm inspired in that moment to write that chapter. It works beautifully. I don't write, nor do I suggest you write. This is for nonfiction writers. I don't suggest you go chapter 1, write chapter 2. No, look at the chapters and see which one comes up and you go, that's what I want to talk about today. This is the one I want to write about. Okay. That's how it looks in terms of actually writing a book. Hi, Ricky. All right. Oh, and there's a golf dad. I love that. I'm learning how to play golf. Oh, it's not easy. Okay, that's the first productivity tip. Take inspired action. The second productivity tip is the power of 4 focused hours. In some cases, it's 5. So let me share with you what that is. Because I safeguard and healthily protect my time in the mornings, I do marketing in the morning. I do business development in the morning. I do writing in the morning. And I do something, there's one other thing that I usually do. I might focus on a program that I want to do. Or maybe there is something that, like Ruth on Demand, I am uh, basically transcribing these. And these will eventually go into a book. And many of them are already on my new website, which will go live tomorrow at ruthklein.com. And I'm excited about that. So it's about repurposing. And on that fourth hour, a lot of times I think, okay, what did I do? What did I do in the last couple of days that I can repurpose? How can I use it on social media? How can I use it in my book? How can I use it wherever that might be? Maybe I'll put together a one-day summit. Maybe I'm going to put together a 2-day masterclass. You already have done it. It's just a matter of taking the time, taking the mind share, focusing on how you can repurpose your content. I'm telling you, my name should be Ruth Repurpose Klein, because I think that's so much fun, so much fun. And last week I talked about 5 ways to market your book, which you could also use, quite honestly, in marketing your business. And a lot of those are repurposing. I mean, you wrote your book and you're taking good information, the content from the book, and you're repurposing in different ways. What is marketing really? Marketing is communicating. It's just communicating. It's communicating who you are and what you do and how you can help someone. Boom. That's it. All right. So that's the power of 4 or focused 4. Sometimes I will have my clients, depending, do a focused 5-day. Now, if you start your day at 6 a.m., let's say you get up at 6, you have your coffee. This is what I do. I journal, and then I might go from 7 until, I break it up, and you can break up those 4 focused hours or 5. I break it up. I might go from 7 to 9. Then I take a walk. I've been doing a walk run, and then I come back an hour, hour and a half later, and then I do the other 2 hours. And this has been working for me beautifully. Not that long ago, I was trying to fit in exercise, and I wasn't doing it because I wasn't doing it in the afternoon. I was too tired. And so I feel really good, because I'm high energy, to get 2 hours of focused time in before I go for my walk. It's turned out so well. So you've got to find out what works for you. Yesterday I did a 4-hour roundtable. I'm going to be doing those every month. And this one yesterday was on write, publish, market, and monetize your book. And that was yesterday. And this month I am going to be doing 4 hours on just what I'm doing now, increasing productivity and how you can increase your income. If you're interested in that, just send me, just DM me and let me know, and I'll get you on the list and I can share with you what it is. You've got to apply. I only let a few people in at a time. And the reason I do that, for those of you who know me, I'm very high touch, and I don't work with hundreds of people at a time. At most, we'll have 10 people in those groups. Okay, so I can work with you very much specifically, and then the rest of the people are just, it's like a master class and coaching all together. It's so fantastic. And we had someone who works with contractors, and so her high energy is in the morning, but she's got to be available at different construction sites because she's got to be there for her contractors and her vendors in the morning. But we worked it out, and she figured it out so that she could still find those 4 focused or 5 focused hours, even though her high energy is being spent with contractors and vendors for her clients. Okay, so this runs across any industry. I was working with an attorney a couple of weeks ago, and lawyers it's just a paper intensive, research intensive industry. And I can assure you that it doesn't matter how busy you are. It doesn't matter how paper intensive and research intensive your business is. You can still use these principles, and again, be a little flexible, just like the gal that works with contractors. Okay. Hi, Bob. Okay. So that's number two, the power of focus with focus 4 and in some cases focus 5. Now, why do I say focus 5? Because once a week, sometimes twice a week, that fifth hour is focused on money. It's focused on any payments that need to come in. I have a bookkeeper, so she takes care of all of my invoices and all of my bills. But this is one that the client may, there's a payment coming up, or I'm putting together a new program and I need payment links. So I'm going to contact my assistant that is going to put that together. I need to make sure that is being done. And one of the things that I tell my clients, and I want to tell you now, because we're dealing with productivity and increased productivity, which is going to be an increased income, direct relationship. And that is track your money that comes in every single day. Yeah, it's a pain. It's a real pain in the tush, but that's at first. But once you start doing it, it works. And you start to see, no money's been coming in for 2 weeks. It helps propel you to take inspired action. It helps propel you to focus on those focused 4 hours, okay? And it also propels you to do this third idea on the productivity. And the third one, let me just write this. So the first one is inspired action, okay? Take inspired action. The second one is focused 4 hours, and then maybe twice a week, focused 5. Okay. And then the third one here is, so I call my phone mini me. And the reason I call it mini me is because I have so much information in there. I have my contacts in there. We all do, right? Got email, have texts, have contacts that I haven't spoken to it's my mini me. I take it around everywhere. And, if I had a dog, I wouldn't even take my dog around as often as I take my mini me phone. That's my phone, by the way. So the third one is what I call mini me, which is your cell phone. You can call it whatever you want, but to me, it's definitely mini me. And so, in order to have a free mind that's going to flow, that's going to be creative, in order to be able to follow up without being frenetic, in order to be able to have focus on what you're doing, you've got to do something with your mini me. And what I'm going to suggest is you need to just put it on mute. You don't need to know when you get a text. You don't need to know when you get a DM. Not at the time. Hi, Jethro. You don't need to know at that time. If you're focused hours, who's connecting with you? Unless there are exceptions. Heaven forbid you have someone that is ill, that's in the hospital, they may call you. Okay. Let's say that you have an elder family member or friend or a colleague or someone who is not doing well, and you want to be there for them. Heaven forbid if they need to go to the hospital, go to the doctor, or you're a brain surgeon of some sort or a doctor and you're on call. Okay. Other than that, I don't know why we need to have our mini me on when we're focused on those focused 4 hours or focused 5 hours. So number one, put the phone on silent. And then what I'm going to suggest is you turn it over, because peripherally, when you see, that light comes on, when someone is connecting with you and you actually see that, and it takes your attention off. So I put it away somewhere on my desk that I can't even see it peripherally. I turn it upside down so I can't see the front of it. I put it on mute, and I'm there with focused hours. For years people have asked me, Ruth, how do you get so much done? This is what I do, people. This is what I do. This is what I teach. This is what I share with my clients. It's not anything uh, difficult, really. It's just a matter of being able to be the leader and the CEO of your own company, and know what your priorities are and be able to follow up on it. So I'm hoping that this is helpful for everyone. And again, if you want to have a deep dive and personally work with me, I do have a roundtable coming up in June. I'd be happy to let you know. Just DM me, because now it's afternoon, after 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time. So I'm going to be available for all of that. Um, and or if you want to have any privates with me, just DM me as well. I'd be happy to chat with you. We have this Ruth on Demand today, Thursday, because a friend was hospitalized on Tuesday, and that's usually when I have my Ruth on Demand. So that's why it's on Thursday and not 2 days ago. So I'll see you next Tuesday.